Hey, happy Wine Wednesday Live. It's me, Brian DeMay. We're back again with some delicious wine and a Halloween wine today as we wait for people to start tuning in. The wine we're having today is from a winery whose name translated means ghost. I think that's kind of cool, isn't it? The Bogle Winery Phantom. You've probably seen it in stores. This is the wine we're going to be having today. It's got a very interesting history, and there really is a phantom. And I thought, what a cool thing to talk about on the Wine Wednesday before Halloween, right? So anyway, let me know you're here because our proud sponsor, Arrow Wine and Spirits, would love to give you a $30 gift card. And boy, we had a good time on Saturday trying some of those top shelf Napa Valley Cabernets. That's the kind of in-store tasting event that you can experience by popping on over to the Mason store, especially. They do a lot of good stuff there. As a matter of fact, another very cool tasting this weekend on Saturday. We're going to be doing a Molly Duker wine tasting event starting at 1 o'clock until about 5. Some really good Australian wine. If you like the Australian wines, definitely check out that tasting this Saturday, October 30th at Arrow Wine, the Mason store. 3 locations, by the way, Centerville and Kettering, and the new one that we talk about a lot, Tylersville and Radio Way in Mason. Hello, Debbie, Patricia, and Acacia, and Cindy. I wanted to let you know I've got a special guest in studio joining me today. He's a strong silent type. Can you see Michael Bublé back there? Yeah, he wanted to join in on Wine Wednesday Live today. I said, as long as you're quiet. Did you happen to see the show on Friday night last week? Boy, he puts on a great show. Such a great show. Okay, so once again, the wine we're having today, Bogle Phantom, the 2018 version. This is a very cool wine, and it's consistently good. And it's from the Bogle family, and I looked this up today. I couldn't believe it. Bogle translated in Scottish means ghost. Isn't that interesting? Hello, Heidi and Mary. Bogle Winery is the family that established winemaking in Clarksburg, California. Way back in the 1800s, right after the Civil War, nobody had been really doing grapes until the Bogle family did back in 1966, but their farming heritage goes way back to the 1860s. And they have been there for a long time. However, and this will be important in just a minute, the Bogle family lost everything during the Great Depression. So they were out of that area for a while until the 40s, right after World War II, when Warren Bogle returned to Clarksburg, California. And what you can see from this map, it's an interesting place to grow grapes. It looks ideal from this map, but it took people until the 60s to actually plant anything there. As you can see, you've got this nice breeze coming in from the Pacific. It's inland enough that you're not going to get a bunch of storms. You've got a couple of rivers, and right there is the delta where the Bogle vineyards started. And Clarksburg is just southwest of Sacramento, just in case you're wondering geographically where it is located. So Phantom is the name of 2 wines from the Bogle family. There's a red blend, which is a proprietary red blend, which means every year you're not quite sure what the mix is going to be. The family just reveals it based on what the best choice of grapes to go in that blend would be. There's also a Bogle Chardonnay, which is also very good. These wines are always well rated, 90 points or higher generally, and they're always around $18 a bottle. And the Bogle family has been doing it for quite a while. And I always say to myself, wouldn't it be cool to be adopted by the Bogles? What a gorgeous family, huh? That is Warren and Jody and Ryan Bogle, the 6th generation that has been doing wine in the Clarksburg area. And when you talk about Clarksburg wine, the Bogles are definitely the family. But let's talk a little bit about the Phantom legend, okay? Because of Halloween. The Bogles lost their farm and their land during the Great Depression. And it wasn't until after World War II that Warren Bogle Sr., the grandpa, came back and started farming again. And it was 1966 that he decided to get away from corn and potatoes and plant grapes because he wanted something that he wouldn't have to replant every single year. Hello, Tamara. And I love that it is still family owned, not owned by a conglomerate. the 6th generation family with 1,600 acres of vines, and the family members run it from top to bottom, and I think that's fantastic. And it is said that there is a actual phantom that roams the vineyards and the cellars. And this is what they say. A ghostly figure wanders the Bogle cellars at night. Fleeting glimpses of a man in muddy work boots and blue jeans, which appears and then is gone like a puff of smoke. Isn't that weird? But it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, here's a family that has been tied to the land for a very long time. And some of those people that worked the land for the Bogle family in Clarksburg probably lost everything. So that is a pretty traumatic experience. Think about that. Maybe somebody that lost everything during the Great Depression, sort of tied to that area, tied to the Bogle family, still tied to the land, kind of wanders, the spirit wanders the land. Spooky, huh? So anyway, I thought that was an interesting thing to bring up on Halloween. And as I mentioned, the word Bogle is Scottish for ghost. My family actually owned land up in Michigan, and I remember my dad telling this tale about my great uncle who lost his entire fortune because he trusted a banker friend, and the bank went under, and next thing you know, no more money. And Uncle Bill, great Uncle Bill, was never the same after that. And he would wander the land that he had left, and he would kind of stack up stones and sticks, and I kind of wonder if I go up there, if he might still be doing that. Who knows? Hey, Patricia and Lisa, let's clear something up real quick here before we get into the wine. You've probably seen charts like this time of year. Hey, Halloween candy, let's pair it with wine. No. Red wine, dry red wine, does not pair with candy. I make this point every year. It also does not pair with Girl Scout cookies. Now, I'm not saying you can't pair chocolate and wine. You can, as long as the chocolate is not as sweet as the wine. That's the thing. If you're going to do sweet stuff with wine, you have to make sure the wine is sweeter than what you're tasting. So when it says, for example, oh yeah, man, you can do, Skittles with Cabernet. No, you can't. Because what it's going to do, it's going to make your candy taste really sweet, and it's going to ruin the taste of your wine. So don't do it. If you want to pair chocolate or desserts with wine, make sure that you're doing dessert wines, sweeter stuff like port. That is great with chocolate. Oh my gosh, yes. Ruby port with chocolate all day. What else can you do? You can do like a late harvest Riesling with a nice apple pie. I mean, that would go really, really well. Look for sweet Moscato, a sweet red. If you're going to be doing chocolate with wine, just make sure that the wine is not a dry, tannic Cabernet or something big like that. It's just a mistake. Don't do it. What else does this ridiculous chart say? A Sauv Blanc with Butterfinger. It's going to make your Sauv Blanc taste terrible. I'm telling you. Gummy bears with Pinot Grigio? No. Resist. Heidi says, what is your favorite Girl Scout cookie? I used to be in Girl Scouts. Thin mints, baby. Thin mints in the freezer. Oh, yeah. That's the way to do it. Oh, I forgot to tell you, when you look at these old vines, these gnarly vines, they kind of look like ghostly figures, don't they? That's an actual picture of the vines in the Bogle Vineyard after, the harvest. And that you can actually see that on the bottle itself, on the label itself. Don't they look spooky? And this is something else. You may not have heard this, but the Phantom that I was talking about, the Bogle Winery Phantom, they actually did catch a glimpse of it, and they took a picture. Do you want to see the picture of the Phantom? Isn't that crazy? Mike appreciated that joke. All right, so let's get into the wine, shall we? Amy says, hi, Brian. One of my faves is raspberry wine with dark chocolate. That's fine. A dark, bitter chocolate, you can do that. You can absolutely do that. But a dry, tannic Cabernet with something sweet, it's just going to make everything not good. Heidi says she likes the tagalongs in Girl Scouts. Now, those are good, too. All right. So this is a wine that is 52% Petit Sirah, 48% Zinfandel, which is a little bit of a sweeter wine. But again, I would not pair this with Skittles. Don't. Resist. Let's just try. They're trying to sell candy is what they're trying to do. And they're trying to ruin your wine tasting experience. So look at that color. This is like a purplish, because the Petit Sirah is a very thick-skinned grape. It's going to make the wine a darker color. Not quite opaque, but pretty dark. Pretty dark. It's beautiful wine. And it smells ripe. It smells like ripe blackberries and plum. A little bit of like leather, like if you get a new glove, a new baseball glove, a little bit like that, you know, that leather smell, and just a little vanilla, because it is aged in oak, and you're going to get those leathery kind of spicy aromas when you do that. Another thing that I like about this wine is it's consistently good year after year, and you don't have to aerate it or do anything crazy. You just pop it and taste it. Why don't we do that, shall we? Okay, this is a little spicier than last year. Okay, so plum definitely, some dark cherry flavor. It's not as sweet as I was expecting. There's a little blackberry, some toasty oak. It's definitely got a spicy, dry finish, like a little bitter chocolate at the very end, and very smooth tannins. It's not a tannic wine at all, but it's not as sweet as I expected. Last year was much sweeter. So the 2018 vintage of the Phantom, that's really good. That's really good wine. Yeah. So if you're going to a Halloween party, I know my friend Mary has a big Halloween party coming up on Saturday night. And they're asking you to bring something tasty. You may want to consider picking up a bottle of Phantom because it's got a cool Halloween-y label and it's not a crap wine. It's a win-win, right? So once again, 2018 Phantom from the Bogle family. I'm trying to get them to adopt me. You can pick up this at Arrow Wine for $18. It's 90 points. Tastes pretty good. Hello, Rhonda. And once again, let me know that you are here. Oh, I wanted to mention something else, too. 19 Crimes, I think, started this. But you can download this app. Like there's a 19 Crimes app, and you can actually scan the label, and the labels kind of come alive, you know? If you download the app, and I did this afternoon at my desk, the Augmented Reality app, Augmented Reality Wine Label app, and you scan the Bogle Phantom label, you will also get something that pops up and you can interact with it, and it tells the story that I just told of the Phantom that roams the fields and the cellars of the Bogle family. So again, something fun for Halloween, right? Perfect Halloween wine, the 2018 Bogle Phantom. Check it out at Arrow Wine. And once again, let me know you're here. Any questions or comments, put them in the comment field, and I will pick somebody at this time tomorrow to win that $30 gift card from Arrow Wine and Spirits. And definitely check out their tasting this weekend. Saturday, Molly Duker, some really good Australian wines. And they do stuff like that all the time. So check that out at arrowwineandspirits.com, and also their Facebook page. They're very active at Arrow Wine Mason. So hope to see you there soon. And thanks for watching Wine Wednesday Live. We'll see you back here next week. Maybe Michael will be joining us too. See you then.